welcome back to Outpost Review. Hope that you guys are having a great day or great afternoon or evening whenever you're watching this. The cabin is coming along. I actually got all the boards on the front. I didn't have the battens cut, but we did, the other day, we did cut some battens. I think we got a total of 66 of them cut. And Jennifer came by and she helped me get some stained. So I will actually be starting to put those on as I go. That way I don't have to put the plastic back up. But here, let me show you what she did. So she actually stained all those that are standing up over there. And then she stained all these that are standing up right there. So I think there's a total of 33 of them. Anyway, I'll be putting those up, like I said, as I go from now on. That way I don't have to put the plastic back up. We did manage to get the gable ends closed in. I'll take you out there and show you that in a little bit. On this side, not on that side over there. But yesterday I did have some help that come up, and they helped me to get the plywood cut. We got it burned, we got it stained, and Jennifer got those battens done. And we did get that installed over there so that I can actually turn that corner on the front and continue on with the siding. So that's exciting. This guy right here is a mess because he slept all the way out here, and all he's wanting to do now is play, right? You want to go get the ball? Huh? Ball? Here. Go get the ball. Go get it. He's his own worst enemy. Ball? Ready? Go get it. We do this at home too. But anyway, yeah, he'll tease me with it. Then he'll bring it back over here. See? See? You ready? Go get it. He slides into the stuff at home, into the couch, into the kitchen wall, and he's just a total mess. But he's such a joy to have around. Anyway, we're going to have to settle down there, buddy. Yeah, we don't want to knock the camera over, do we? Okay. Yeah, by the way, we did get the camera fixed. It was broken. So since I have a total of 3 of them, I'm going to be sending one to my son, and he's actually going to be helping me do some of these review channels. He already has the microphone and the stand, but he needed a good quality camera. He was talking about getting one that was a little cheaper, but I said, listen, I've got 3 DSLR cameras. Primarily, they're all brand new. We just had knocked one over and broke it. So I'm going to send him one, and you can look forward to seeing more of Patrick on the Outpost Review channel. So up until this point, it wasn't really imperative that I close up the gable ends with plastic. Because honestly, when that wasn't there, even though it was just this lower portion here, when I would crank the fire up with a good fire, and after it got going really good, it managed to stay relatively nice in here. Now there's still a lot of humidity, so you may see the fog coming from my voice, but it was actually good working weather. Yesterday we decided to go ahead and close that up because the boards that had got wet, however that happened, well, water of course, but I don't know how it penetrated the tarp. But the boards, I decided to go ahead and bring them in here, and so I think every day I'm going to come in here, I'm going to build a fire and let them stand in here, and those siding boards will be the very last ones that I use, which would be on that back wall. Of course, I've still got that end wall to do, and I may go ahead and do it when I turn to this corner. I may go start on that corner and turn so that they have the longest time that they can dry that's possible. But I've worked my way down to the dry board, so from here on out it'll be dry until I get down to the ones that I have stacked up in here. But yesterday we did increase the temperature in here about 20 degrees. by doing that right there and building a fire, and after it got going really good, we started at 30 and we ended up close to 50. So I think that's going to help these boards, especially if I do that every day, even though I'm working outside. Come in here, like I say, crank up the fire. Of course, when I open up the wall, that's not going to help a whole lot, but you know, at least I will be able to crank up a fire, like if it's on a rainy day and I'm inside working, so that will be handy. But yeah, we got this up here covered and that side over there covered, and so it's going to help, like I say, to dry those boards out. So anyway, let's go outside and check out those gable ends that we got finished yesterday. Well, I tried to situate the camera where you could actually see it from that point, but it's kind of hard to see up under there. It casts a shadow on the camera when I'm trying to video that, but like I said, we did get this whole side done, so I can actually turn this corner and work my way in that direction. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get up where this long extension ladder is, and about where the top of it is, I'm going to have to put some horizontal 2x4s in between those 3 2x4s up there and then on the other side. I'm not too worried about these ends, but I need something to screw my boards to up there other than the top beam and then my rafters. I need something more than that, so I'm going to install one there. Then that way I can go all the way up, screw to my rafters. Once I get that up, I'll put a fascia board on, then the batten will go up to meet that, just like it's going to happen on the front. But yesterday it was kind of snowy, and it was a bit of a chore to get that up there because the ladders and the, you know, it was kind of muddy and it was wet, getting up and down there. I actually had bought another one of these ladders, but when we got it here, we realized where it rotates right here, it was bent. Brand new ladder, so I couldn't use it. We got that extension ladder out. I don't really like using that. I like this other one because it's got a wide base on the bottom. It gives you more stability. And it was a combination ladder too. So Patrick, which was Jennifer's friend, not my son Patrick, he's going to take it back. He's going to swap it out and give it to Jennifer at work, and then I can meet her somewhere and pick it up and bring it out here. But anyway, like I said, we do have that done. I can do this side. Then if I can get some help to install the other side again, I'll probably, like I said, once I get to this corner, I'll jump over there and save that back side for last. That way those boards have a chance to really dry out. But it didn't take too long once I had to put in some 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch squares. I say squares, making a square box up there to have something to screw that to. But it didn't take long once I had that installed to actually put that up there. So anyway, I still have to go back and caulk and put some trim up underneath the eave and things of that nature, and then on this side of it up underneath this metal fascia here, but it's all coming together. If you can see behind me down here, my son-in-law actually helped me. We needed to cut those battens, so we had one tree that we cut up, and I've still got 2 logs left, but we went down there, we went ahead and cut the top off, and we pulled a log out of the woods and actually cut one of them, and the other one that I had to make what we got in there, or maybe it was 3, I don't remember, but anyway, I've still got 2 logs left, so I can cut several more. Then I got another tree blowed down over there behind the kitchen. I think I showed you in the video that it would kind of be hard to get to, so I may not mess with it. But I've got some other logs lying around here that are crooked, and you know, a lot of it would be waste, but I can get some material out of it. But anyway, it's gonna take I don't know, I'd say probably 4 more logs to cut what we need for the battens, especially on the 2 long sides, because it's so tall, so it's going to take extra. But I've got a lot of material lying around in the woods out here, so it's just getting to it, getting it pulled out and getting it processed. So let's go back in, and I've got something else I want to show you. Before we go in there, I wanted to mention that I had told you that these logs right here were going to be used for the chicken house, and they are. That was another reason that I wanted to go ahead and get this siding on and not really worry too much about doing anything else until I got the chicken house done and I got those raised beds put in, because it's not going to be long. Spring will be here. I'd say probably about 8 weeks, and we'll be having spring. So I wanted to get that house built because I want to get those chickens in the springtime. And of course, you know, springtime is planting time, so I want to be able to have those raised beds in place and have them filled up with dirt and ready to go. So, but yeah, these are going to be, I'm going to be working these up real soon for the chicken house. Here's the logs that what I had left of that tree that fell down there. So you see I've got 3 lying there. They've got some bellies in them and a little bit of twist to them, but I should still be able to get quite a few of the battens out of those. But that's what is left from that tree that fell down there across the road. So I still continue to get comments about why did I put this on that side of the cladding when I put it on the back side on the first section. Well, I don't know. I think there's still a lot of people that don't know that we have this review channel where I explain more things. But these were installed incorrectly. I guess I was thinking house wrap. But this radiant barrier should have been tacked onto the back side of my stud wall. Then these horizontals would have been added like I did on the very first section. But it's not a big deal. I just decided not to try to tear it off after the other day. I had it actually stapled up there. Of course, the other one was closed up. Didn't even realize it until I got to this section right here. But what I'm going to do is come back, and because I want to have plenty of it left, and cut 24-inch strips, and I'll come in here and start, and I'll tack it down on this side, and that will still give me my airspace between my siding and this right here. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. Like I said, just put those strips in here, and then when I decide and get ready to finish the walls, then I can put the insulation in and go on from there. But I'm not going to worry too much about closing any walls in or anything. I primarily want to get it closed in, and I can work all through the summer, you know, working in here at my leisure, because there's other things that I've got to do. And you have to remember, I have a place to stay, so I'm not in any big hurry in getting moved out here. Anyway, yeah, it's all looking good. The walls, especially having those 2x4s on the outside, they are really solid. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I still continue to get comments about it. I just thought I would mention before we walk up there and talk about the chicken house that I purchased some new tires for the truck. The others still had a little wear on them, but I actually had a nail in one of them. I wasn't losing any air, but I didn't dare take it out, and I thought, well, there's no point in trying to get it fixed. I'll just go ahead and get some new tires. But I'll tell you, these are Michelin Defenders. I actually I had two 65/70R. These are 18-inch rims that I bought. I got rid of the 22-inch rims that were on it when I got the truck because I didn't have much tire at all. And living out here in the country, you know, you need a real tire. Something, if you get off in the mud, you don't want it to already be up over your rims. But I've really had good luck. This is probably the 4th set of Michelins that I've had since I've had trucks. And I'll tell you, I haven't had anything that wears as good. As long as you rotate the tires every time you change the oil. I change mine every 5,000 miles, and I will have the tires rotated. I actually learned that from my former pastor years ago. He would get close to 100,000 miles on his. I think he changed his oil every 3,500. That's when we had conventional motor oil, which you know you can still get. This truck uses synthetic. But yeah, so I started purchasing Michelins. Now the only thing about that is the capital investment up front. But here's the thing. You know, I've still got a suit that I bought probably 20 years ago now, that at the time I paid $550 for it. It still looks brand new. So you kind of get what you pay for, okay? If you can't afford it to begin with, you know, maybe kind of save up some, because if I was to go with some different types of tires, then I would actually probably be back in the shop at least once again, or if not twice, depending on the tire that I bought and the wear that was involved in it, getting that replaced. So then you got time and expense, you know, getting there and going through the process of taking the old tires off and putting the new tires on. So I just as soon go ahead and myself, you know, everybody's different, but I just as soon go ahead and get the good tire, get it put on, and not have to deal with all of that. And then when these wear out, now I've been getting around 80,000 plus miles the way that I drive. Now out here in the mountains there's a lot of curves. You won't find any roads that are straight. Now when I lived in Texas, you could actually, once you got out on the road, you could just kick back and go to take you a nap and set your alarm, and you know, just before you would get there and wake up. No, I'm just teasing. But all the roads there are straight. You didn't have hardly any curves at all. But here in these mountains, you've got downhill grades. You know, the road sometimes may lean this way. You've got curves left, curves right. And anytime you go around a curve, if you got any kind of speed at all, you're chewing that tire as you go around the curve. So when I was younger, I didn't think about it. But now, you know, as I got older, I thought more and more about that. So I will reduce my speed even going around the slightest curve so that I don't chew up my tires. And I, of course, you know, I start off slow, and that way I don't, you know, dog the engine. And then I also stop slow. I start way back, you know, just decreasing my speed so as to not wear out my brakes and things of that nature. So the truck is kind of babied, if you will, but you know, you get to keep it longer. All right, there's no point in wearing it out just to trade it, you know, every few years. So this one will probably last me a good long time, because right now it's only got 60,000 miles on it. It actually had 38 when I bought it. But anyway, but yeah, these tires, I'm very happy with them. The tread is about 1/2 of an inch deep, and it should go for a long time. The tires that I put on it are two 85/75 18, so it's about an inch taller and an inch wider. But yeah, I just thought I would mention that. The cost was $1,498. So that's quite expensive, you know, for tires, but it does save me from having to go in and out. And I'll tell you, they ride so smooth, they track so well in the rain. You know, a lot of times when you hit a puddle, how you feel a car pull, not with these tires. I mean, you can at an excessive speed, but just regular driving, you just go right on through. It's like it's not even there. So I really, really, really like the Michelin Defenders. So I just thought I would mention that, because that was a pretty a hefty amount of money to lay out. I had other tires on those other 22-inch rims that I put on there before I sold them. It was only $1,100, and they were 22-inch rims. But since there's so much tire here, and I got a little bit bigger tire, quite a bit of money. So, but anyway, let's go up there and talk about the chicken house. Well, guys, this is the area up here that I've got planned to put the chicken house in, and I've still got a lot of brush to clean up here from all the trees that we fell. Still got 1, 2 that are going to have to come down. Yesterday we had a pretty good sizable wind up here, and that white pine was really rocking, but it's actually kind of leaning in this direction, and I want to save that white pine if I can, but the 2 yellow pines are still there that I need to take out, and the one is going to have about 4 logs in it, and then the other one, it may have 4 logs in it too. They're not too crooked, but they're top heavy. They don't have a really good root system, and they're leaning kind of in the direction of the kitchen, so I can't leave those standing. But you know, some other stuff had taken priority, and we never did get those 2 down, but we got, I think it was 7 or 8 that were here. We got those cut and got them pulled out of the way. But I think I've got 3 new trees down that I didn't have in that last little snow that we had. So, but yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of cleanup up here, but I won't worry too much about it. I will probably use a lot of this top right here on some different things for the chicken house, but I'm probably going to situate it right in here, in this area right there, because I have a road and I'm kind of going to leave, and I want a space where I can come and turn in here, so it would be better if it'd be over there. But we're probably 50 yards from the outdoor kitchen up here, and it shouldn't be too hard because there's only 1 stump, which is where the big tree was that we cut right there, so it shouldn't be too hard to dig. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to make it probably about 8 feet wide and 10 feet long, or maybe 12, but I plan on getting some turkeys too, and some chickens, like I say, and I may at some point get some peacocks, because I had peacocks when I was growing up, and they're actually better than a watchdog. They will let you know when anything comes around. I remember the male, we had 2 females and a male, and they would roost up in the tree, and then early in the morning when the sun started coming up, they would fly down, they would land on the roof, and they would land with a bang, you know. Yeah, they would let us know when anything was coming up the driveway, and they make such a racket. The only thing that I don't want that we had was guineas. I can't stand to listen to those things. But anyway, yeah, I think some peacocks, some chickens, possibly some ducks, you know, and some turkeys. So it's going to take, you know, a good sized house to house those. Not going to have a whole lot of them, but I want to have enough where I can have, you know, several eggs. That way I can gather those up and have those to eat. And you know, we actually had several ducks when I was growing up. We used to eat the duck eggs, and a lot of those were double yolked. But he's digging in by a stump here to pull on the roots. That's what he's doing. When I went to church today, he actually slept in the back, thank goodness. The steering wheel was still there when I came out and got the truck. So, but the thing is, he gets the end of his nose dirty, right? And since he's solid black, his nose kind of, when the dirt dries, it looks white, you know, kind of a cream color. He looks so funny. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it along the same line as the kitchen and the outdoor toilet. If you're new to this channel, this chicken house will be built very crude. I will probably take a lot of the material, scrape the bark off, and leave a lot of it natural looking. And then when I put the siding on, I will probably do the same thing that I did to the toilet down there and use the slab wood as, as my battens. So a lot of this material right here will be used for the perches on the inside, and I think I may even make a section that will be enclosed. I don't know how big of an area, probably going back in this direction, because if I ever leave, I don't want them to be pinned up. I want them to be able to be outside. But I've also got to make it, I'm going to have to probably dig a trench where I can pour some concrete, use some cattle panels, which is the thick wire about big as your little finger, and put that in there, and then I'll have to put some finer or closer woven wire behind that so that they will be able to be protected from any hawks or any other, predators, but be able to get outside during the day if I ever had to leave. So yeah, that's going to be another thing that I'll have to work on, but primarily getting the house up first where they'll have a place to get in, because as long as I'm around here, I can protect them from predators. It would be the ones that come out at night. During the daytime, there are some feral hawks that fly around out here. You can hear them. There's a pair of them that kind of hang out right here. So that's the idea on the chicken house, and hopefully I can get started on that probably within the next, I'm going to say about 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take me to get those other 3 sides closed up and the battens on around all 4. But so this is probably the largest project that I'm going to start working on before springtime, other than those raised beds. I need to get those in, like I said earlier, for planting. But this is the area that I'm going to put that chicken house in, and those are the ideas that I've kind of got for that. Another thing too, the more I think about it, I may go ahead and decide to tear this down and build another one. I may see if I can't take the tractor and level that out just a little bit with my bucket, push some of the dirt on this side, that way it's kind of level, cut me a ditch to where any water that came down the hill would drain down instead of kind of flowing in there, and raise that up probably a couple more feet. And like I had mentioned before, I can actually get a lot of this metal secondhand. I've just been kind of waiting to find the color that I've kind of adopted around here that people order, and they actually don't come and pick it up. It's like half the price. So the more I think about it, I may do that at some point, and I might even kind of get some used pallets, start collecting those, like now, and just stacking them up to build me some walls, at least 3 walls around, if not a partial front too. That way it kind of encloses it from any weather coming in, since a lot of them are staggered, the panels on them, but it still allows airflow. That way when you start stacking your material in there, it can still dry. So that's another thing I've kind of got on my mind. I'm not in any big hurry because that's functional, but the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of deciding on going ahead and doing that at some point. Well guys, I'm going to go ahead and close this video down here. I actually came up here after church so that I could get this accomplished and talk to you about those comments that I still keep getting about that radiant barrier, what we had accomplished on the plastic, getting the gable end done. I've got a couple more pieces of plywood whenever help comes out here where I can put the other one on, and I've also got extra 3/8 plywood. Now the other that I put up on the ends was 1/2 inch. because I was going spanning 24 inches with it. But this other is only 10 inches, so I only got 3/8 for that. But yeah, I will be able to take advantage of the help when they come up here. We're also going to knock out those other 3 logs out there and make some more battens, so we'll have those ready. And then when Jennifer comes up, you know, since I'll be having the fire in here, she can just come in here and burn those and stain them, and it just makes for work to go a whole lot faster. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by and checking in with us up here at the Outpost. We hope everybody, like I said earlier, is having a great day or evening whenever you're watching this. Anyway, we want to thank you so much for all your support. My son, my daughter, and I, we thank you for that so much. We just hope everyone has a great day. Take care. We look forward to seeing you back up here at the Outpost again next time. You're such a wild. Ball.